welcome to MGP560. I'm Kevin. With me as ever, the Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
Well, that's a little surprise for everybody because I'm pretty sure on last week's show I said that I wouldn't be on this one, and yet here I am. So I imagine this is going to be a secret, intimate chat between me and my adoring public, because I imagine most of the listeners are giving this week a miss because they know I'm not on. But here I am, a little bit of a treat for the ones who are properly committed. A treat for the crazies who would have listened to a No Kev episode. The crazy people. Can you imagine listening to a No Kev episode of all
Everybody
the things?
had adjusted their brows to a higher level, and now they're having to drag their brows back down into the gutter because you're here.
Oh, I've got some
here
anus
too.
stories. I have got plenty of anus stories. You were going to be here anyway. I'd already committed you to the podcast this week,
Oh, I see.
but I decided I didn't fancy it. But now I'm here anyway. Hooray! Kev's here. It's because I didn't know for sure that we were going to be back from our lovely trip to Manchester that we've been on, but we are back. For the second time this month, second time in 2 weeks, me and Anna have been very close to Pabby, asked him to come and hang out with us, and he's just gone, nah, you're right.
I don't come out in the evenings.
You're like a
told you.
reverse vampire.
Yes.
My friend is always like, she thinks I'm being antisocial. She's like, but Pab lives like 15 minutes away. Why aren't you nipping over to see him? And I'm like, he doesn't want to. And
When?
she's like, but well, I've been up to Manchester very many times this year, like at least 5.
And not
I reckon.
mentioning it after the fact.
Yeah,
No, the first few times I mentioned it before, and Pab, but then I just got tired of being like rejected by you.
yeah.
I don't take rejection very well. You get a couple of asks and then that's it. So, yeah, she's very much like, because the last time she was ill, I was dropping my daughter off at her friend's house up there, which is one of the reasons I've been driving up a few times. And I just went and saw a film, and my mate was just like, why haven't you gone to see Pab? And I was like, because he doesn't ever socialise when I'm up here, so I'm not asking him.
I
gonna
think
tell
he's
you.
got a secret local podcast that he does, and doesn't want the two worlds to collide. We're fine to hang out with down south. We're his southern comfort blanket. But as soon as we're on home turf, he doesn't want his local podcast to find out about us because we're his filthy secret that he fraternizes with southerners.
Do you reckon
The
his family
locals
knows he does
disown
it?
him. No, of course they don't. They would absolutely disown him if they knew he hung out with southerners.
If I
We've got
knocked
you
and was
there, haven't we?
like, is Pab there? They'd be like, oh, we don't have anyone called that here. And then his name's probably Clive or something. And they'd be like, Clive, do you know what this boy's talking about? This man's talking about? I forgot I'm a man. And he'll be like, oh, no, mother, I don't have a clue. And I'll look like an absolute moron.
When
If
his
only.
5 children answer the door. Oh, we didn't know about all of these. Goodness me. Yeah, we know
Yeah,
we know
that's
what you're up
exactly
to, you
right, yeah.
rascal.
I
Yeah.
definitely
One of the-
do that when I
Your
go
secret-
gallivanting.
Secret life of Pabby.
One of the things that listeners who I meet at events say to me when they walk up to me, Pab, is always that you're a bit of a dark horse who never says anything and reveals anything about
Me?
himself. Yeah. I've
Well,
had people
that's
say that
good.
to me so many times.
These sound like people who only listen to the first half of the podcast.
They're like, what's Pab's story? What's he all about? He just talks about games and that's it. And they're
Well,
just
I'm
like,
with you most
Yeah,
of the time.
how
at
dare
these
you on this
conventions.
games podcast, Pab? Turn up every week, having played games, and then talk about the games that you've played
well, I
whilst
think-
revealing nothing. It's
I think
hideous.
what they mean is
Crazy.
we grace the listener with a good half an hour about our just daily goings on, our lives, you know, all your medical procedures, anything. Whereas your Pab just gives them nothing.
Because I have nothing to give. It's boring, everything
mean,
else I
Pab-
do.
Does it sound like we have much to give with our stories?
Well, it's a good point.
I feel
Well,
like
the
you should do an
exciting-
improv class.
The exciting thing is, me and Anna have spent 48 hours basically hanging out with Pab with him just out of sight. He's probably been watching us, tracking our movements, seeing what we're up to. We went to Liverpool. We had like 10 minutes in Liverpool. So we have been all the way over there. We went to Liverpool just to go to the Lego store and then left. That is literally all we did in Liverpool. Lego store, left. Then we headed back to the Trafford Centre and we went to the Lego stores there, both of them. We like a Lego store. And we went to the Pink restaurant again for the second time this month. We like the Pink restaurant, Archie's, which apparently is quite a big Manchester thing. I've since
it?
learned because I've put them
Are
on
you sure?
TikTok
Yeah.
and people have
Are
gone
you sure it's
crazy.
not
But there's
called
one in the
Our
Arndale
Cheese?
Centre as well.
There's one in the Arndale, yeah.
And they're doing a big roller park over at the Trafford Centre and all sorts. So I think they're quite the Manchester thing. I want an Archie's franchise. I want to bring them to the south because I think the Southerners would love Archie's. It's great. Everything's pink. The walls, the floors, the decor, the food, the beverages, everything is pink. They have pink machine guns hanging from the ceiling, pink mayonnaise, pink beverages. I think we talked about them last week because I was so enamoured with them. But we went there again.
There was purple drinks there and orange drinks.
Oh,
there.
they've got Vimto and Iron Brew. They do have them.
So you're lying to us again.
I don't think you're. Well, purple's just dark pink anyway. We all know that. That is known, and we don't talk about the orange stuff. I tried their own brand cola. Wasn't pink. It wasn't as good as Coke. I don't know why they've got brand name Vimto and Iron Brew. This is my beef I've got with Archie's. Why are you doing Iron Brew and Vimto, but you're not doing normal cola? Eh? I'd even take Pepsi. I wouldn't enjoy it, but I'd accept it. But no, they have to do their own brand. Their little Archie out the back with his soda stream, doing his panda pops. Not interested, Archie. Give me a proper beverage. However, his chicken is delightful. So we went to Archie's again, and then we were just hanging around in Manchester. We went to a strip club, didn't we, Anna?
No, we didn't, Kevin.
We went to a burlesque show, sorry.
No, we went to a musical.
What was the musical called?
Burlesque, the musical.
It was called Burlesque. The word musical was not in the title of this musical. It is just called Burlesque. I have never been in a room quite so full, and bearing in mind I've been to see Christina Aguilera a couple of times. I've seen Bewitched live. I have never been in a room with quite so many late 30s, early 40s mums as I was in at this strip club.
They're savage, aren't they? They are savage. I went to see Barry Garlow live, and they were savage in that crowd.
Because not only was it something that was very much targeted at that demographic, but it was during the England match as well. So any hope of these women bringing their men with them was completely ruled out by the fact that we missed like the first 20 minutes of the England match. So as far as I'm concerned, England lost 1-0 yesterday. Very disappointing. But yeah, so I
heard the guy.
I'm telling a story, Anna. I think I was the only straight man in that building.
Lies. There was a couple in front of us as well.
Pretty sure they were brother and sister.
They were a couple, Kevin.
I'm not so sure. But it was a fascinating experience. I've never seen quite so many nipples in one place. And
nipples, he means.
And I just nipples in general. There's a lot of nipples.
You used to be a vet.
I did used to be a vet. I've been to the cow pumping place and didn't see as many nipples as I saw on stage at the Manchester Opera House. But that was jolly delightful. And then we got all the fun of walking back through Manchester during the England match. That gets rowdy. It's rowdy though, weren't it? We walked past a load of pubs that were absolutely slammed because they had the football on. And then we walked past one that was like, we're not showing the football. Literally nobody in there. It was completely empty. I don't know what they thought their selling point was, but they had absolutely nobody in there. And then today we've been doing the sightseeing tour around Manchester, basically wandering around the city centre, hoping we'd run into Pab, because we did ask him to come out with us on Wednesday night. We asked him to come out with us on Thursday night. We thought, look, right, we know he's here. Let's just walk around and see if we bump into him. We know he does his one poker stop of the day at lunchtime somewhere in the centre of Manchester. So he's got to be around here somewhere. So we wandered around for a few hours, didn't see him. Saw a lot of people. We heard him loads. Everywhere we went, we were hearing his voice. But
I don't think he does one poker stop a day, because I've had I'll be waiting for him to do his play Pokemon Go 30 days in a row task for about 6 months, and he hasn't done it yet.
This is why we didn't see him. Then he stopped his Pokemon habit, the little rascal.
I do it 6 days a week, and then some days I just don't go out, so I don't get to the stuff.
Absolute piece of work.
So I do it. I get 6 day streaks every week.
Is that not a Pokestop you could just jog to and come back?
Yeah. I'm like probably about feet. I'm like 2 or 3 feet from one that right now, but it's just not in reach, and I'm not going outside for it.
You're a scumbag.
You are.
Says the person who has one on on their own house.
Yeah. Well, I
don't have that
that
luxury.
Do you know how many
we've got
bloody
one on our house
emails
as
I had
well.
to send?
We've got a gym on our house. It's great. we're in this gym 24/7. If anyone ever takes our gym, we just kick them straight out again. Look, my house is a gym. Get out of here. I'm having it back. And yeah, people know that's Kev's gym. There's just no point. There's no point trying because it's mine. And the locals have learned they don't even try anymore. Which does mean we sit in there for days at a time and never get paid, which is quite frustrating. I might
I have
need
a
to.
friend who messages me saying, "Can I knock you out of the gym?" And I'm like, "Yep." And then I just go take it back. It's very good.
Excellent stuff. But yeah, we had a jolly nice time in Manchester. Would have been better with Pabby there, but you know what can you do? He only hangs out with us in London, apparently. London and France, the only two places Pab will hang out with us. We
Yeah,
understand
the
that.
South, Kevin.
Yeah, Birmingham. He'll come as far. He used to come to Birmingham and have a bath and then hang out with us. He'd always have to have a bath before he saw us, but he'd make sure he got himself nice and shiny. Then he'd come and hang out with us in Birmingham. But yeah, if we come to him, no, can't be seen
Pab,
associating with
If
him.
the three of us come up there one day soon, will you invite us into your house?
No.
No?
I've never heard anyone answer a question
I
so quickly. Just
I
no,
don't want to
no,
come to your
absolutely
house.
not.
I find that
You
weird
don't
I
need
too.
to.
do.
Yeah, you don't need to.
I want to see
There's-
these pajamas that he hangs out in. I want
mean,
to see.
I'm sure it's just
Pabby's gym
a
jams.
t-shirt and shorts, Kevin.
I need to meet
Ah.
your family, Pab. I need to understand, the streets that raised you, the environment you were created in. I feel like it will just give me a bit more.
I just want to
knowledge
see
of you.
see if the host of the Northern Gaming Podcast is as good looking as I am. That's what I mean. As long as I'm the best looking one, then I guess I can cope with your double life that you're leading. But if you've got someone even better looking than me, as unlikely as that sounds, if you've got someone even more good looking than me on your secret podcast that you don't mention on here,
don't have any secret podcasts. I
you
don't
do.
think.
We know you
The boy
do.
likes to be private. Just leave.
It's weird though, Anna. He does a podcast. That's like the thing that people who don't have privacy do. They don't know
What?
where the line
He
is.
doesn't have to do it. He's here by choice.
No, he doesn't have to do it at this point. He knows if he doesn't, we will tell him.
Yeah, even if I wasn't on it, they'd still send me the files to edit it every week.
Send you them is a little bit excessive. They'd go into Dropbox.
Yeah.
We're not going to go to any more effort than just saving them to Dropbox and
Yeah.
assuming they get. I genuinely don't know if this ever gets released anywhere. This might just be you humoring me, and you just like, yeah, Kev, this is a real podcast. Yep. Oh yeah, we release this. In fact, could somebody listening just tweet at RB6K and confirm that the podcast does exist? I'm not going to read your tweet, but Sheepdog will let me know. He'll summarize the tweets into a text.
These
And,
cowards never tweet. I never get these tweets. I mean,
do you know for sure this gets released?
to be fair, no. I see like a tweet going out to a link, but I don't click it.
I don't even see that. I don't think I follow the podcast account anymore. I think I got fed up of it just always spamming its own stuff. No, it never shared anything that was helpful to me. I can't stand these accounts that are just constantly spamming out their content. So I was like, no, if you're not ever gonna do anything for me, I'm not gonna do anything for you. So I think I unfollowed. I want memes and witty comments on society from my podcasts that I follow on the internet. Not just, hey, it's another week, we've got another podcast for you, which I don't believe there is one anyway. I can't, but if you're releasing this, Pabby, your quality control is desperately low. We need to have a conversation.
Oh, it is low.
What do you
It is low
mean?
anyway. I mean, I think I need listeners to ask me how good or bad was last week's episode, because I think I put I didn't edit it last week, as in I put the Craig version. I put the Craig version out last week.
It?
Oh yeah, because I put the Craig version out last week. It sounded all right.
Does that mean there was no jingles and stuff?
Yeah, I cut bits out and put the jingles in, but I didn't do any audio levels or anything like that. I just put it out.
I'll level with you, Pabby. I didn't know you did any of that stuff anyway. I'm actually quite impressed that our standards have increased since the days when I used to edit it.
Oh
and stuff like that's
yeah.
happening.
I do all that stuff.
I had to teach you how to do it, Kev. Like I asked you why he
shut
wasn't
up.
doing it.
You're the worst offender, Sheepdog. You are the worst
He's like,
offender.
oh, Sheepdog, why is your bit a bit quieter than everybody else's, mate? And I was like, Pab, why aren't you normalizing it when you put it through? Why aren't you like pressing the two buttons on Audacity to make it all the same?
I shouldn't have
I shouldn't
to
have
do
to,
that.
Sheepdog. Well, there's 3 different pieces of hardware, Pab, that are recording, or 4 even. You know, it's 4 different sources. It's pretty impossible to get it right.
Yes.
He doesn't have to
Oh,
do
shut
it.
up.
The solution is you normalize it before you put it in the Dropbox. Then that is sorted.
How can I normalise it with myself, Pab? It needs to be normalised with
It doesn't
Kevana and
work
you.
that way.
You big goose.
It doesn't work that way.
Yes, it does.
No, it
Let's
doesn't.
not do
Yes, it
this
does.
on. Let's not use this here.
Because
No, I'm
it
enjoying
doesn't
it.
work like
Afterwards.
that. Because when I do that, because you're not
I'm a
one
fidget,
level.
Pab. I'm a
You're
fidget.
not one level.
I'm a fidget.
You're
That's the
up
thing.
and down all over the place. So if I try and normalize you to everybody else, you then become ultimately quieter.
That sounds like a good thing. What Sheepdog needs is one of those headsets that wrestling commentators wear that manage to get clear audio even at WrestleMania. Because then when he moves his head around, the microphone will go with him. We need to
I
get you a
worry about it.
wrestling
Oh yeah,
headset.
like
recording my nasal breathing. That's my worry with that.
Or one of those ones that Alan Shearer was shouting into after the football yesterday. One of the ones that you basically push right into your nose.
Was that what that noise was? I was napping, and I didn't know what it was. Like I knew it was Alan Shearer because he's got the bald head going on. I didn't know what the distortion was. I was like, what
Anna
is he
only knows two
doing?
bald people, Sheepdog and Alan Shearer.
Hey, I know he's bald, so I was awake.
And so's Alan Shearer, exactly. But yeah, he had one of those weird ones that you push right into your face, again, to remove the background noise. And I think he was maybe getting a little bit too friendly with the microphone because he was a little bit honking through it. But he was very cross, bless him. Poor old Alan Shearer, so cross. But yeah, that's what me and Anna have been up to, gallivanting around the north of England, having a jolly nice time. I think we've just decided we're going to come to Manchester every 2 weeks until
if you
Pat
do
hangs out
it
with us.
in the weekend, I'm more likely to turn up to these things.
I mean, we were there on a Friday 2 weeks ago, Pat. Friday evening. That's the weekend.
Which we know you're
don't
free on
remember
because
that.
we recorded a podcast with you for a decade, Pab.
Sorry?
So we know you're free on Friday evenings because we did a podcast with you for a decade.
Yeah, but I'm not always now because now I have gaming plans because I know do stuff on a Wednesday.
Gaming fans. Who plays games anymore? For goodness
I know,
sake.
play
crazy. It's
games.
Games have you
crazy.
been playing, Pab? Talk about
It's
them now.
crazy that this day and age, games come out and people play them. Bonkers.
Yeah, that is madness.
Describe these games, Pab. At length.
I tell you what, Sheepdog, I'm going to describe a game at length because my game of the year has now become my mortal enemy. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. 6 months into the year, the only game I've really been playing, Balatro, has it's turned on me. It's upset me, and
He slammed his switch down on the
I
bed.
didn't slam it down. I firmly placed it to make sure it didn't slip onto the floor.
Slammed it then.
Yeah.
Because I was there, I knew what. I turned around, right, and because I could see you out of my eye line, and you were perfectly still playing your game. I don't know, whatever time you were playing it, and then I heard it thud with a thud on a bed, Kevin. So I know you were angry with it.
Well, because I don't approve of the wording that it used, and I feel like I've been conned.
But you
I
lost.
I didn't lose. I lost spectacularly in style because I got to the final hand before you finish it. So the eighth ante, whatever the technical terms of it is, the big blind on there, and where every time you get to the big blind, it has like special rules that it applies to it that's different to on a normal hand. And this one said, I forget the exact wording it used, but it misled me. The wording was something like only allowed to play one hand, which I interpreted as so like I can only like play a pair, but I can still do my 5 goes, but I can only play one type of hand because I've had I've had that big blind before. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I can do this. So I just played a pair, got about half the amount of money that I would need. I'm like, that's fine. I've got 3 more hands to go. I'll just play another pair afterwards. We're golden. I've got this. Played a pair and game over. Because it didn't mean it was slight. And I know there is a big blind that you can only play one type of hand because that's come up loads. And I was just assumed it was that again. I was like, oh, I know this one. I could do this one. This is easy. But no, it literally meant I can play one hand, not one type of hand. And I don't know if that's new as part of the update. I don't know if the wordings have changed. I have played probably, I mean, it must be well over 100 hours of Balatro at this point.
That can't be true.
I mean, I can tell you just what I've done on Steam right now because I'm sat at my PC. If I just
so you're playing
find,
it on there as well?
I've got it on, I've got it on Steam and I've got it on Switch. So on Steam, I've played 49.3 hours just on Steam. And everything we did when we were on holiday was all on the Switch, so I didn't take my Steam Deck. So, yeah, I've done well over 100 hours, and I've never been done over the way it did me over then. And I was furious because
Exactly, that's why I heard a thud.
if I'd have read the big blind properly, then I would have just I could. The frustrating thing is, I probably could have done it. You know, I could have played a full house. I could have done a couple of discards. I would have been fine. But I'm like, no, this is easy. Easy peasy. Just do a pair a couple of times, 3 tops, and I'm there. And it lied to me, and it threw a game over at me, and I got very upset. So I don't like Balatro anymore. It's dead to me. It lied to me, and I need you to find me a new game, Pabby. So that's your homework for this week. Find me a new game that I'll love as much as I loved that one before it turned on me and became a swine.
Okay. Have I got a deadline?
Well, if you want me to talk about games on next week's show, it's not a very long one.
I was going to say I was just going to recommend the that Metaphor game, but it's not out till October.
I mean, I can go to October without playing any more games. I think I've been burned on games by Balatro. I'll just come on here and talk about Lego every week. It's fine.
While you're doing homework for Kev Pab, I mean, I continue to play Midnight Suns from last week. That is very fun. It's XCOM Marvel. I'm building relationships with the Avengers and the other characters, and trying to encourage Blade to have a relationship with Captain Marvel and stuff like that. But beyond that, I'm missing Final Fantasy Pab, and I am still hammering the Suika game constantly. I beat my high score yesterday, and I'm back to kind of. I find it so hard to beat my high scores now that I end up just playing it endlessly, trying to do that. I'm playing it now while I talk, Pab. But find me a replacement to that as well while you're finding Peb.
I mean,
Kevin
you said you're missing Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played all the DLC?
Not 16.
No.
7 Rebirth.
No, but it's something.
Nah, because the story doesn't continue in that. It's just old missions. I'm not really interested. I looked at it. I almost got it, and then I thought, nah.
It's interesting. It is interesting. It is good.
I genuinely enjoyed 16, but I don't feel any need to replay it, and I don't feel any need to learn more about the world. If they did a 16 too, I'd be all over it. I want future, like more progression in time, not shoehorning bits in. Maybe I'll play it in future and get like a full version of it or something like that when I've forgotten it a little bit. But I want more of Rebirth, basically. And they're saying 2027 maybe is the earliest they're expecting to make the next one of that.
I mean, did you finish that as in platinum?
That's an idea. I mean, I haven't. I did every task except one because I couldn't do the Chocobo racing good enough to win the Chocobo Gold Cup, and I haven't actually looked at the trophies. I could have a look, but I mean, I don't really want to spend 5 weeks talking about Final Fantasy again. I already did that this year. We had a whole load of more like Nintendo updates and so forth last week, didn't we? And I don't know. Other than the Mario game, I was like, I don't know if there's much there. Hopefully, you'll tell me that I missed something.
There's all sorts there.
For me, I mean,
there's a new Zelda. There's a new Metroid.
Pab, like they're like the only Nintendo games I specifically don't like. What are you doing, Pab?
That's your problem. That's not everybody else's problem.
Well, I mean, it's not my problem. It's just a taste. No, I don't mean my taste is better.
It's a rare example of Sheepdog being correct.
I
have you actually
get
seen
into
it,
Metroid. Huh?
Have you actually seen the new Zelda?
I don't really, not in a flippant
You've
way, but I don't
dismissed
really
it
need to
immediately.
see the
I
new Zelda
feel
when I've seen all
like-
the other ones.
Yeah, I
weird.
feel like that sentence has been said to me many times over the last 30
Okay, then.
years.
Okay. Who do you play in Zelda?
Nobody. I try to avoid it.
Who's the
So
main
are you
protagonist?
saying it's
in
not
Zelda?
Link in this one?
Mm-hmm.
Who
Is
is
it
then?
Zelda?
Yes,
Is that why I've been seeing all those pictures of her?
probably.
No, that's just your porn preferences.
I mean, what difference does that make to me, though? I've not. That's like
Because you don't.
it's like showing someone who doesn't like Sonic. Oh, in this game you play as Tails.
me.
It's like I don't know.
I mean, you just. All right.
I'm not trying.
Is it,
Again, I'm
is it
I'm
a
actually
different
for
kind
once.
of game, or is it just the same old game,
It's
just with
more.
a girl doing it?
It seems to be more puzzle based
Oh, good lord!
than actual combat based.
It's the puzzles I didn't like in Zelda, Pab.
Yeah, the puzzles are the worst bit by miles. I just looked the solution to the puzzles up on the internet.
I despair.
8 puzzles in
Apologies,
games.
yeah.
I don't. If I'm playing
you
games, I
hate
certainly don't
puzzles
want to
in
be thinking.
games.
Can't stand them.
I thought you
I
liked
do
puzzle
prefer
games.
story, Pab. Much prefer story.
Ah, now, Pab, I don't mind a puzzle game, but I don't want a game that is not marketed as a puzzle game to throw random puzzles at me when I wasn't expecting them. I didn't like it in Uncharted either. That's why I only ever finished one of the Uncharted games, because they've thrown. And Tomb Raider was the worst
Yeah.
as well. Just
I
throwing
bought so
in
many
puzzles.
of those games, never to actually complete them. I owned about
Yeah.
2 or 3 Tomb Raider games where I was just
Tomb Raider
like,
games are
oh,
great.
yeah, puzzles.
And they're good games.
Yeah.
What you got to
Little
remember
ones.
is me and Sheepdog are jocks. We're big, muscular jocks. We don't want to have to think. We just want to play Call of Duty and Madden and drink beer. That's what we're
I
looking
don't
for
think
from our
that's
games.
true.
Well, that's the only explanation. We are
Either that or
jocks.
you're simpletons.
No, that
I'm
doesn't sound
definitely a
right.
Yeah,
simpleton.
the puzzles aren't that hard. Gosh.
I think for me, what it ends up being is I can't tell whether I don't understand the puzzle or whether I've missed something or I'm not doing the game controls properly. And it kind of spoils it if I have to then look up whether it was me or the puzzle all along. And it's always like, there's never a consistent answer. It's not that, it's usually just that I missed the door or something stupid because I wasn't fully paying attention. But yeah, I prefer the story to just be the story and bosses or whatever, and I don't mind that. Like if I'm trying to do a boss battle, I got to figure out its patterns or just be good at the game. But if I'm faffing around finding locks and figuring out puzzles, it's like whatever. You're talking to the man, by the way, who didn't realize in Resident Evil when it said that there was a spade etched under the door and you needed to go find the key with a spade on it, as in the card symbol. I just thought someone had wedged a shovel under the door. And when it said a diamond, I was like, well, that's a bit unorthodox. And then when it said a heart, I was like, this could mean cards. But for a moment, I thought they'd wedged someone's heart under the door to keep it shut.
No.
I
Maybe he is a simpleton.
yeah.
I'm not denying it. I am stupid.
So now you want me to find you games as well as Kev.
You're the
Ugh.
one who insists on this being a gaming podcast, Pavy. If you want it to be about games, you got to give us something to play.
Kev watching his risque burlesque show the other day. I've been watching a program called We Are Lady Parts, which is quite funny. When we're going down the whole risque names thing, just on topic there. It's not anything dirty really. It's just about a punk band, but it's good. It's fun. I recommend it. Remember when we used to talk about stuff we watched as well, because that filled the void.
I remember people moaning that we did that. I don't know.
They're not cultured then, are they?
No, exactly.
I went to the theatre.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Anna went to the theatre to see something that's going to be heading to the West End later this year. We're ahead of the curve.
Very good.
We weren't just there seeing nudie ladies.
There were so many sparkles there.
There were.
And now you can understand why I want a big shoe in your Lego City, because there was a big shoe.
Big shoe?
Yep. There was a...
How big?
Like,
Pretty
he was
big.
the
You're gonna put it
narrator,
on.
and like one of the men that sings, and he got on a shoe to
Is
sing.
it not like an old Mother Hubbard Lego set that you could get.
I mean, there's plenty of big shoes in Lego. Sheepdog. We're not
Yeah.
lacking for shoes.
Not looking
I was
for
just
shoes.
resistant to have one in the city.
But it was a big show. It had fireworks coming out of it. It was great.
Doesn't
It
seem very
was
practical.
great. It was so much fun. I would definitely want to go and see it on the West End on a bigger.
Ab will come with us
Stage.
then, because it's far enough away from home, so he won't get started.
I mean, if it's a Saturday, then maybe.
Oh gosh, it was good though. It was fun. I've only ever been to the theatre to see children's shows, so it was nice to see
I
it.
mean, I've been to see Sooty 3 times at the theatre, so I'm quite the theatre pro.
I've been to see like In the Night Garden and Jackmate, so children's shows.
So two very similar shows.
They are. You could just like a bit of swearing and they're practically the same. So yeah, it was good. Fun times. But on the gaming front, not a lot because we're busy going up north.
What were
but
you playing on that suitcase PS4 thing you had set up where Kev told you were a monster for
PS4?
playing it? PS5,
Most
I
of
meant, sorry.
most
Oh,
of the time,
yes.
she was applying updates to it.
Oh god,
She got it up there and spent the whole of the first day downloading updates.
No, that is a lie. Well, it's not a lie, but right. So on
For
when
context,
did-
boys and girls,
know.
Anna's got one of those big suitcases that footballers have that has a monitor in. It's literally the one that the footballers have. It has a
You
monitor in
bought
and a
it, me.
space.
I'm
I
going to
did.
use it.
And a space to put your PS5 in so that you can go and play FIFA on the back of the team bus on match day. Anna has one for when we go away from home to see a theatre show that she wanted to see.
I knew football was going to be on. I didn't want to get in the way of football. I knew that you would miss the start. So I bought it so we could get home and you could have the TV and just watch your game and be a Kevin. Although I didn't use it when they were on because I was tired, so I had a nap, and that's how I knew Alan Shearer was around making comments about things. But so I did my stream on Tuesday with Kevin of my Notre Dame. Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Yeah. So I did that, and then after that, Kevin's like, "I've got to go and do a bit of work," and I went, "Okay, I'm going to go downstairs." And I'm going to install a game. I'm going to do all the updates so everything is set for when we go. Because, yes, these places have internet, but they don't normally let you go on the internet with your console, which is fine. I'm fine with that. So I went downstairs, did what I had to do. Everything was fine. Put it in the box. We left. We took everything with us. Fine. I did forget a charger, but I have a Kevin, and he always has chargers. So that was fine. So I sat down on the first night we were there, opened my box, plugged it in. Now, the plug, the wire wouldn't get to the wall because, well, it would, but the way I needed it to be to see it, it was a stretch. But it got in the wall and I could still see it. Fine. Turned it on. Everything worked. It was great. I was playing the game, started again, but I got to... So basically I was playing Dying Light 2. From 2022, and I started it again. But the way they've updated this now, you don't have to do the intro, which obviously you have an intro for how you play. But I didn't have it goes, "Do you want to do the intro?" No, because I already had 2 game saves. Didn't want to do that bit again because it's quite boring, and I vaguely know how to play it. And even if you do skip like the tutorial prologue bit, as you are going through the games, it'll give you tips and you're like, yep, I know this, fine. So I was playing it. So basically you start when you get to the church in the main. So basically you've traveled like 1,000 miles across I'm guessing the US. You've gone from where it was in the first one, I forget what it's called. You are a pilgrim and I don't know. I don't quite know what pilgrims do, but they literally help settlements. There's only a few settlements. So, like, say they talk about the UK and how there's only 4 settlements in the whole of the UK. So the zombies have kind of wiped everything and everyone out, and there's like 4 little settlements that just basically, I think a settlement would be in like the the financial district because you need height. You need the towers to help you live, basically, because the volatiles and the zombies are quite mean. So you need something high, UV light. You don't. So that's where I started. I had to go on, basically in this area you need a bracelet to say you're not a zombie, blah blah blah. Everyone has the infection, but you do certain things that keep you fine. But you have to wear this bracelet to say you're fine. Green, fine, you can stay in the bazaar. This is what it's called in it. So I got to there, had no bracelet, had to run to the hospital, did all that, and that is like a good hour into the game. Anyway, so I was playing it for half an hour, I was doing the hospital bit, and I needed the loo, and I pushed the table ever so slightly. I wasn't thinking, it was late at night, and the plug came out. And I was just like,
Oh no.
So it turned off. And I thought, okay, fine. It will take me back to a save point, whatever. So I went to the loo, came back, plugged it in. It had to rebuild the database. I don't know why. Maybe it was saving, which is always a bad thing when you're playing games if it's saving. It rebuilt the database. I turned it on and I could get the game to start. I could get the game to go past all like because basically this game can, like the health one is like this game can give you a seizure, take breaks, blah blah blah, and then another one about anyone in this game. It's all fiction. None of this is about anyone. Got past that screen, and then I got this is the saving icon. Fine, got past that point, and then it was just a black screen, and it had a little circle in the corner, just circling, and that just black screen. I was like, okay, this is... At first I was just sitting there and I was like, this is taking too long. Oh no, what has happened? And it was just circling. So I restarted. I disconnected to because it was like it was trying to... I tried connecting to the internet, disconnecting to the internet, connecting to my phone. Nothing was working. And I was trying for a good hour, getting really annoyed with it because I wanted to play this game. I hadn't played it since 2022. I forget what came out in 2022, but something came out that took my attention away. So I wanted to get back to this, and I was like, I don't know what to do because I knew everything I'd installed. I made sure everything that I was entitled to because I got like the extra, I don't know, the ultimate or additional. I think it's called the Smuggler's Edition or something like that. So I knew I had everything I was entitled to downloaded. And I got so angry with it, so I deleted everything off it. I just deleted the whole game, all downloads, everything. I was like, right,
wow.
Install the game. So I installed it, fine, it worked, but I needed the update to have it. I needed the patches to be, because it started, but my game saved. So I had one that was at like 48 hours. I had another one that was like 2 hours. Would not work with the base game. They wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me touch them because it didn't. It says this game save doesn't support this file or something. And I was like, oh god, I need the update to play the game. And I didn't want to start again. Yes, I was only 36 minutes into the game, but I would have had, because it wasn't the patch wasn't there. I would have to have done the tutorial again because that wasn't an option in this patch. There wasn't, because there was no patch. It was base game. So for 4 hours I sat there connected to my hotspot and I downloaded half of the update. It got late. I was tired. I turned it off. It was fine because I don't know if there's a thing for the PlayStation, but it kept the half I downloaded. And then when I turned it on in the morning, I had another 16 gig to download via a hotspot. That took another 4 hours. But I got the patch via my hotspot from my phone. It was ever so slow, but I got it. Went to my theatre show, came back, and I turned it on. I went past all them screens, black screen again, and I just swore. I was on my phone trying to find out what I'd done, why I couldn't play this game anymore, what was happening. Looked up, everything was there, worked fine, played it from about. Kevin went to bed about 10. I was on it about 9. I came off it about 2 a.m. this morning. I just played it, and I'm just playing Dying Light 2, the Smuggler's Edition. I don't quite know what that means. I got a few updates, but there's a little there's a QR code on the screen when you start, and if you go on that, join the internet forum thingy, like web page. If you like go on every day just to check what's happening, you get like a checkpoint. A checkpoint saying you visited that day. You add up, you get points, and then they give you free weapons that you can have in the game. If you link your account, obviously mine's are linked. So I'm just having a look at that every day, because there's some good stuff in there. There's stuff that you can't get in the game on this webpage that's linked to my account. So I keep doing that. I'm playing the game. I don't see anything different from the base game. Like, yes, you can skip the intro, but it's still a bit. I want to say like Bethesda. Like, I went in a truck. There was a bush in the truck that was on the ground, on the outside, but it was in there. Like, all of the foliage was clipping into this lorry, and it wasn't just the lorry, it was everything. Like, it was all clippings. I was like, okay, they obviously have no detection on, but whatever, it's what it is. Like, you can't have everything of detection because you're just using the resources. But there's just things like that. But they do have story mode, so I'm just on that. I have no time for nightmare mode. Like, who has time for that? Not me. So I'm just bashing things in the head and electrifying things and taking people's heads off. Because, like, you can hit something a couple of times, press square, and their head comes clean off, and that is satisfying. I might take it to, like, up a notch because it seems a little too easy, but I can just toggle that down to easy when it gets really hard, because I was finding it a tad too easy. But the game is what it is, you know what I mean? It's not the best, but it's not the worst out there. I understand the mechanics more so. Like, you are infected by the new zombie that's around, and you have to get these inhibitors to upgrade, like, your health, but you have to get 3 of them each time to upgrade either your health or stamina. Am I saying stamina right? Yes, I am, I think. So your stamina, it is one of them games. Everything you do costs stamina, and you have to wait for it to replenish. You have to wait for it to return. I know I'm talking like loads. I just need to get it all out because I'll forget. So yeah, you have to get 3 of them to upgrade them, and the way you get them is that you can only get them at nighttime. Now, nighttime in Dying Light 2 is scary. If you played the first one, if volatiles even detected the smidging of you, they would chase you, and that is scary. Yes, you can parkour and do all that, but when you've got them things running at you and screaming at you, it is terrifying. Now, the map in them games wasn't really big. It was big enough for, like, the PlayStation 4, but even though you had some fumbles sometimes, just scary. But this time you do have them, but they work on a different mechanic. Is, yes, they are out at night, but while they're out at night, you can go into these buildings / hospitals where these inhibitors but that's where they are, so you can go in them. So you have to go in them at night. Now, they're not clear. There are zombies in there, but they are asleep, so you have to kind of sneak around, but you must do it at night. So you must, like, you have to leave the safe house, you have to get there, and then you have to get in and do what you have to do, because you can only do it until dawn, because it does have a clock. Obviously, the clock is like a minute is every second, so you're on the clock, sort of, but you also have, like, the added urgency, because the way your infection works means you can't stay in the darkness too long, because if you do, you will turn into a zombie. So you have to either use UV light to replenish yourself or be in the sunshine. So you have to take mushrooms and these like inhalers and stuff to keep your UV exposure up so you don't turn. So I literally, because I didn't know, I thought every hospital or place had one inhibitor in. No. They have 4. So you have to go, like, you have to find how to get down to each level. I didn't know this before. I thought there was one. I thought this is going to take a long time to level up if you need 3 for each. But no, these places have 4. So you find a hospital, you've got at least like 1 upgrade, and if you do 3 of them, then you've got like you already got you've got an extra one. So you get 3 hospitals, you get 4 upgrades, which, like, you know, that's quite good because there is quite a few hospitals. But you're not just getting them from hospitals. There's like special night missions that you can go into that have them like with these special zombies. Yes, they're frightening, but on easy mode, it's like a few hits, you're fine. Yeah, but you also need, like, you also have to loot. You have to loot for scrap. You have to loot for money. You have to loot for everything you want in this game. Even your weapons, you have to loot, because they do have what's that word I'm looking for when they break down? They have a limited lifespan. So you can hit, but then they wear out, and then you have to use another one. But you can get them repaired, but you can't repair them. You have to get like the shops to repair them. But you can add like electric and fire and whatnot to them if you have the resources. So that's kind of good. I only played like yesterday evening because of the I broke not broke the connection, but I unplugged it by accident because I moved it an inch, and I was just like, oh, but I did download it on my phone. The PlayStation will take your hotspot. I don't think my phone provider loves me, but you know what? It works. It's £12 a month. If they're going to give me £26 worth of download for £14, I'm not going to say no. But yeah, that's it. Though I did find my Vita the other day when I was tidying up.
All right.
My Vita works, people. I got my Vita day one. That must have been about 13 years ago. Now this one has Andrew marks on it. The button, what they call the analog sticks have been eaten, the rubber, but they do work. I did turn it on, and I played the massive blob from Mars or Attacks or something like that. Basically, you're a blob from space, and you have to eat things to get bigger to carry on. I love the game. I don't even know. There's nothing I found that is like this anywhere else. You basically just go around and suck up things. Now I know there's Katamari. Is that the Japanese game?
Yeah, Katamari Damacy.
Where you roll over things and get bigger. But this gets bigger by being inside you, so you're not hindered by the objects being on your outside. They're all inside. You just get rounder and bigger. And I really enjoy the game. Kevin came in the other day, goes, "What you doing?" I went, "I'm playing on the Vita." He gave me a nod look, and he goes, "What are you playing?" I went, "The blob game." And he went, "What?" I was like, I'm a blob. I play as a blob." And he just looked at me and walked out.
Blobs Attack.
Yes! And I love that game. I remember playing this, like I would be doing the podcast with you guys, just playing my blob game while interacting with you all, and I love the game. And now I have my Vita back, and it still works, even though it has been through my autistic child, and it is still going.
Is this a PS4 game?
Idea.
No.
It's on the Vita.
On the Vita, I don't know whether it's on the PS. I was gonna say, in theory, you could play this on your PlayStation 5.
You know, if it was, I would be all over that. I would be playing I'd finish it. It's just it'd be like what's that game you played on the Xbox? The Minikin or whatever it was. I played that in a weekend when Kevin was away. Loved it. Excellent game. I know that game would be enough one. I would just play it all weekend because it's so simple, but I find it because like there's hidden bits and you can find not upgrades, but like you would find like these little things that need rescuing. Love it. Great game.
On Steam. You can find it on Steam.
Is it on Steam?
It's on Steam.
I have
Find
the
it on
PC
Steam.
now, so I might have a look on there and
It is on
play
Steam.
the heart out over there. But yes, I have my Vita back. It is a sturdy bit of kit. I don't know if the store is still on. I could not tell you.
No, I don't think it is.
No, this has a bunch of.
It
This
might
has
be, you
like.
know. It might be.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they planned to close it a while ago, and I think there was a big backlash, and they went, "All right, okay, calm down, step up, we'll just step away from it."
I know, like the
So-
Wii U was shut down, and the
Wii U
DS
and the 3DS is gone, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the Vita may be hidden somewhere on the PlayStation Store. But I've got like the unfinished one on here, Flower, the Mutant game, Little Deviants. Like I have some old but good games on this, and except for the analog sticks being naked, works just fine. Doesn't hold a charge very good because it is, like I said, it's been through my boy who liked to have everything plugged in at all times, and everyone knows that you should never charge when you play because that just takes it away. But that's me. On to you. Like I know I've gone on, but I just had to get all of
you're
that
right.
out of me, and I think I did it.
Okay, so doing my very quickest like search and research for you. Sheepdog, 9 souls.
Why not 10, Pab?
I don't know. I didn't make
That's
it.
why you have to play to find
Yeah.
out why.
9 souls. I'm going to recommend to you. Kev, Bingle Bingle.
Pardon?
What language are you using here, Pabby?
Is that Bingo Bango or Bingle Bingle?
Bingle Bingle.
Okay.
Yep.
Try
Have a
that,
look.
Kevin.
Just have a look. That is me doing 5 minutes of research, and I'll leave it at that.
They're quiet, so he's gone
Yes,
and
just
done
keep
that.
them, let them go and have a look.
Looking. Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
sure I
I'm
like
also
roulette.
reading. The first thing that came up when I typed in 9 Souls was a film that was made by, it says C also, porno star. So that was a little bit distracting, Pab. But
SOLS, sorry.
I might have a little look at Bingle Bingle.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
might be worth a
Souls
look.
as in sons. Yeah. I
Yes.
see.
Anyway, so what have I been up to? What have I been up to? So I'm very much on the fence on Elden Ring.
Oh, that's out, isn't it?
The DLC is out.
Mhm.
Shadow of the Erd Tree, and as we mentioned last time, I'm nowhere near getting to where I need to be. And I feel like I've kind of given up on it.
Already?
Well, I beat the second boss, whoever it is, the second main boss, which is in Ray Lucaria, which is I think is Renala, I think. And I beat them last time, and I was just like, right, what have I got to do next to get to? And I was like, it just seems like so much to do to get to where I need to be. I'm like, is it worth my time? Is it really worth me doing it? I did actually have a look. I had a sneaky look yesterday. I was like, let's have a look. Maybe the game was clever enough to make a separate save file when I started New Game Plus. It didn't. It didn't. I've got the one save file. I was like, damn it. I was like, maybe I'm clever enough to made a separate save file. No. I've got the one save file with 150 hours in, and yeah, I'm in New Game Plus, and I'm nowhere near where I need to be. I bought the DLC with every intention of playing it, but I genuinely don't know if I can be bothered. I genuinely don't know. I might just get the itch at some point and just be like, just do bits and pieces at a time and just
That's what I
play
mean.
on.
it's not going anywhere now. You own
No,
it.
exactly.
You can do what you want to do.
Exactly. So I'll just, maybe I'll get to it one day. I don't know. Speaking of DLC, I did go back to Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
I played more. I don't know if you've played any more, Anna.
No, just
No?
because I haven't been
Yeah,
here
yeah.
and haven't had that. We had a busy week last
Yes.
week, and then we went away this week. So no.
I played a bit more of actual Alan Wake stuff. And I got to like the next chapter after the main, like the big bit that the reveal from like maybe a quarter of the way in.
Okay.
And I got to the next chapter, and then I don't think this is the way. Well, so I found there was an outside bar at a hotel. I was trying to find a hotel, and I found the entrance to the hotel, and then I saw an outside bar, and I went over to the outside bar, and there's a TV on. And I clicked on the TV, and it opened up Night Springs, the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And it said, "Do you want to play it?" And I went, "Oh, I don't know."
Oh,
And
okay.
it's complete. It says like it's completely separate. It's nothing to do with it because the Night Springs DLC is 3 separate episodes of like what if scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, "Oh, sod it." And for the podcast, I will do that. So I'm not. It's nothing relative to the actual. I don't think to the actual story of the game, the main game. So I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I've done one of the episodes of the Night Springs DLC. Like I say, just in the world. I don't know how it actually works in the game, as in, because there's also just a DLC thing at the main menu. So I wonder whether you can actually just do it from the main menu rather than I just came across a TV that had Night Springs on. I don't know whether if you finish the game, I don't know whether you've got to then make your way back to certain parts of the map, sort of thing, to find these TV. You might have to. But I found the one, and I found the one where I am playing as Jesse from Control, which is the main reason I wanted to play the DLC, because
So
I wanted to see
bizarre.
what's going on. And yeah, it's a little. I feel like it's a prequel to Control
Okay.
in a sense, because you are Jesse and you are trying to find your brother. And you end up at Coffee World, which is like an amusement park, coffee themed amusement park. And so the main premise of Control is you are looking for your brother, and you, well, spoilers, you eventually find him. But
Okay.
but so now I'm thinking, has the brother gone somewhere again, or is it prior to that? But then also, you know about Control. You have like powers. You don't have any powers in this game.
No.
It plays exactly like Alan Wake does.
Okay.
But you do have you have that like a sixth sense sort of thing, don't you, in Control, where there's like you have like a, I can't remember what it's called now. There's like, you have like a something in your head that kind of like tells you certain things and kind of points you in certain directions and helps Jesse around. And that is, you are with that entity the entire time. So the entity helps you do puzzles and do certain things. And you do come across the sheriff, who's the guy from the other game he called now, Quantum Break. You find him in the park as well, and there's another one of the episodes is with him. So you find him and you talk to him for a bit. He gives you a gun and a flashlight, and then you're off to the races. And then it is pretty much just Alan Wake combat, where you shine the light at them and then shoot them. And you do all this Coffee World stuff, which is great. And I think it's probably about, the episode's only probably about at the most 90 minutes long, maybe. So it's not tons, but it's nice just to get back in there. And I did a bit more. Once I did that, I finished it, and then I come back out to TV sort of thing, and then I'm back to where I was. Did a little bit more, and I am interested in going back and doing more and more of it. So yeah, I've done some more Alan Wake and enjoyed what I've played. What else have I played? I've played a little bit more Ghost of Tsushima. Not tons. It's like I've always said, it's one of my games that just seems to be the game that I just pretty much just switch off to and just roam the island, just clearing it out. At the end of like the main, like the first island sort of thing where you rescue your uncle. A lot of outposts that you did previously get taken over by the Mongols again. So I went back and did most of them instead of pushing forward with the story. I went back and did all that sort of thing. I don't know why. It's just something in my brain went, you need to sort these out before you push on. So I did all that. So I'll continue chipping away at that one as well. That will be my. I've not played tons of it this week, mainly because I've been playing other things. But like, I think it's one of them games that it's just drop in, drop out sort of thing, and just chip away at it as and when. It's very much the game that I just kind of just casually jump in. The other thing that I have played quite a bit more of this week, I don't know why. Well, I have a feeling I know why. I went back to Forza Horizon 5. I'd not really played that much on the PC. I bought it on Steam, and obviously my save doesn't come across from Game Pass or anything like that. Which is a shame. I think they should do stuff like that, especially when you make sure you sign into all your Microsoft accounts and you get gamer score for completing stuff. So I was like, thinking, it should just carry all your stuff over, but it doesn't. So I've been doing that. I think what triggered me to do this is the Universal Car Pack came out, which includes the Back to the Future car, the Jurassic Park Jeep, and the Knight Rider car. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I'll get that. I ended up buying up all the DLC as well because it's on sale. So I've got the Hot Wheels stuff. I've not touched any of the Hot Wheels stuff, but that's all there now. But yeah, I was like, oh, that sounds cool. What other cars have we got? And then I soon found out that it says you get 5 cars in the pack and 3 of them are DeLoreans, so one from each film. I'm like, that's a bit of a rip-off. That's you can't tell me there's 5 cars when it's the same car with one's got the white rim wheels on it from 3, and one's got the Mr. The recycler on the back from number 2. And you're like, that's the only difference. You can't do that. That's a bit cheeky. But playing it's not. Let's be honest. It's not the fastest car in the game, but it is very cool. Because I saw videos of it, so that seems pretty cool. It's got all like the blue lights on around the edges of it all and what have you. And then I started playing it, and I was like, "The lights aren't on it. What's going on here? This doesn't seem right. In fact, maybe I've just got to put like the full beams on or something like that to get the lights on." Couldn't figure it out, and then I passed 88 miles an hour, didn't I? And then the lights came on. I was like, of course, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Until I get to 88, the lights, nothing lights up on it. I was like, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I've been doing that. I did a race yesterday. I think it's like one of the main events, called like the Goliath or something like that. It's like the biggest race in Horizon history, however they said it was. I don't know. But it's like a 12, 13-minute race. And I had to do it twice because I got right near the end and then someone whizzed past me. I was like, damn it. I was like, well, I'm not happy with second place. I'm doing it again. So I had to do the race again. And the concentration levels are just like, I can concentrate for like 2 or 3 minutes at a time for a race, but for like 12 minutes straight, just full, like, pedal down all the way the entire time, just pretty much hardly braking, because if you brake at any time, someone will just come and sneak past you. Oh, it was kind of stressful trying to keep that momentum going, but I beat it, and I did that, and then I'm doing other things. I'm doing things like in a weird order, because remember there was I feel like right at the beginning when this game first came out, we talked about you drive like a truck, don't you? You drive a truck that you've got a car on the back of. You're like a flatbed truck. And you have a car on the back of it. I did that after about 6 hours this time. I was like, what did I do differently? I don't know how I ended up, because I feel like I did that almost immediately. We drove a truck with an old barn find on the back. So I did that yesterday, and I was like, oh, that. So I don't know which. I must have gone a different direction to how it wanted me to go, because I ended up doing all sorts. I went to a volcano site and put some sort of like a seismograph thing, whatever the hell one of them is, a vision that measures earthquakes and stuff like that.
Seismology.
Yeah, whatever these things are. I went to place one of them and put on some weird volcano suit, like for the heat and stuff like that. I was like, I don't remember doing any of this stuff, but then I don't think I played a ton of it. So that has kind of taken over as my chill game a bit this week, where I just like wander about. I don't want to race particularly, but I want to drive around and get all the billboards and all the boards that your XP board and your fast travel boards, and do some speed cameras and what have you. And then if I get near a race sort of thing and I fancy it, I go, yeah, go on, and I'll do this one. And yeah, that's what I've been doing, really. I've just been pottering about in a Ford Escort. I don't know why they give me a Ford Escort. Some sort of it has Monster all over it, like, Monster Energy, and it's like a Hoonigan edition or whatever it is. They gave it me to race, but they recommended it for one of these races I did, and I was like, all right, and okay, and it seemed pretty good, so I just kept using it, and that's what I've been driving around. I've been driving around a Ford Escort all week. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I don't think I've done anything else. No, I think we're good. I think I've done.
Well, in that case, we'll wrap things up, boys and girls. So if you want to hassle us on the internet, you can do that at Mgukpodcast, or you can follow me at Lelujo.
And you can follow me at RB6K.
I miss Lelujo.
And out Pab 1986.
And we'll see you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Thanks a lot, folks. Bye-bye.